To trending news south of the border now. The United States Supreme Court says it will weigh in on whether Donald Trump will be immune from prosecution, as he claims, for trying to overturn his 2020 election loss. The decision effectively delays criminal prosecution against the former president, potentially pushing any trials until after the November election, making his run to return to the White House all the more viable. American President Joe Biden and his predecessor, Donald Trump, both made their way to the U.S.-Mexico border today. Their parties a 5-hour drive apart, each pointing the finger at each other as it seems more likely the pair will face off in this November's election. The former president's team of lawyers are working hard to wriggle him free of any court cases that may disqualify him from the race. And now the Supreme Court is getting involved. The court says it will weigh in on whether Trump has immunity from potential criminal actions made while he was in power, as his lawyers argue. Lower courts have already said no, that Trump must face the courts for his actions while in power. Because of this, many lawmakers and legal experts believe the Supreme Court shouldn't delve in.
I think that this is such a frivolous argument. This is a case where even if you thought there might be some circumstance where a president could be immune with respect to certain actions that he takes within his or her official capacity, this is surely not the case.
This means the criminal case led by special counsel Jack Smith, looking into Trump's role in trying to overturn the 2020 election results, must now pause and wait until the top court brings down the gavel. It's one of many criminal and civil cases currently plaguing the former president's campaign.
I think there are very few legal scholars who think that a majority of the court would agree that any president would have this sort of broad immunity over any conduct in office, much less the particular conduct that's alleged here. So that doesn't mean, though, that it's a happy day in Jack Smith's office. It's probably not.
The question in front of the Supreme Court is whether, and if so, to what extent, does a former president enjoy presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for conduct alleged to involve official acts during his tenure in office? The court will hear arguments in late April and make their decision by the end of June at the latest. Even if the court throws out Trump's claim of immunity, it's not clear if he can be tried in time for the November election. He is currently the frontrunner for the Republican nomination and the first former president to ever be criminally charged, potentially launching the United States into uncharted territory.
This case needs to be heard before the election, and I think he's been stalling for time. He stalled for time in all the cases he's got, throws anything up against the wall to get him extra time because he wants to put it after the election, and if he should win, he will stop these prosecutions.
Trump wrote on Truth Social that without presidential immunity, presidents will always be concerned and even paralyzed by the prospect of wrongful prosecution and retaliation after they leave office. The decision will come from a 6-3 conservative majority Supreme Court, including 3 justices appointed by Trump.